Welcome to PowerTalk, a podcast designed for technology, trends, and insights. Welcome to our podcast series on intelligent UI. Today we will be talking about the building blocks of intelligent UI. Our guest today is Rushikesh Bhosale, UX manager at Calsoft. With 13 years of experience, Rushikesh blends creativity, strategy, and technical depth to solve complex UX challenges across AI, cloud, storage, networking, and virtualization. He's been at the forefront of designing interface that truly connects people with technology. Today, he'll be sharing his insights on future of intelligent UI and user experiences. Welcome back, Rushikesh.
Thank you so much.
So, Rushikesh, last time we talked about the rise of intelligent UI, and in today's episode, we are going to discuss about building blocks of intelligent UI.
Yep.
So, before we start, can we discuss about core components of UI architecture, intelligent UI architecture?
Sure. So if you have to think about the architecture of intelligent UI, right, you have to think in layers, right? So the first layer is data layer, right? So you have to, whether it's storage, network, virtualization, whichever platform you're building, you have to basically feed data into the pipeline, right? Then comes the the AI ML layer, where you're actually trying to feed the data to the layer, and then actually it understands the context and everything, and then it tries to make sure that in the UI how it's going to provide the overall behavior. Then comes the orchestration layer, which is basically trying to make sure that the UI understands what is the context, what it is about, how it's going to display, how basically it'll look in the UI, all those things. And then it comes the users who are actually users interacting with the UI, and that's how you can think of this architecture of intelligent UI. And it's all about making sure that it's scalable and it kind of performs to the ability that you're trying to achieve.
And how these AI models interact with traditional UI layers?
I think you have to think about it in a way where not so much traditional now, but in a way where the shift is moving towards these intelligent UIs. It acts precisely by understanding the context and everything, and it gives the right approach to the user. It's all about making sure that let's say you are trying to upgrade your VM or downsizing your VM, right? It's all about making sure that the user has the right let's say messaging, right? And then how user can back out of it. It's not just about guiding the user, it's also opting out of it. And control is the main thing that you would want to have in those scenarios for the user, I would say.
So I'm sure our audience may be curious about the intelligent features. So if you can elaborate more on those.
Yep. So in terms of features, the main core features that I see is personalization, right? When we say personalization, it's all about dynamic UIs, right? Let's say you go into a particular application, it kind of sees your pattern the way you are using the application, and then kind of next time when you log in, right, it kind of builds you the main components or the widgets that you want to have on the dashboard, and gives you the right information. That's what I think I can think of. Context aware is let's say you are trying to basically finding something in a particular application. You have those breadcrumb which kind of goes into 5 levels, 10 levels, right? Instead of going through all those things, you can just have a conversation with the intelligent UI, ask it a question, and it will pop out an answer which is relevant to the problem that you're trying to solve.
So that was insightful, Rushikesh, and I'm sure our audience would be more interested to learn more about some examples on intelligent features.
Sure. Maybe what I can give you is the core features that we see currently. One would be personalization, right? So let's say you are going through a dashboard and it basically remembers every pattern and every habits that you have done within the application, and kind of once you basically come next time, it will probably show you the widgets and the features that you probably want to see instead of doing it manually, right? That is something. Second would be context aware. So let's say you're trying to do upgradation or downsizing of a VM. It's important to make sure that we don't ask users to go through a trail of breadcrumbs, right? Instead, users can just ask the intelligent UI to find something and it'll pop out the answer for them. And same goes for the conversational UIs as well, right? Examples like ChatGPT, you can ask it anything and it'll provide you the best possible answer for that.
Can we talk about balancing human-centered design with AI automation?
Sure. So when you think about balancing both things, right? It's kind of crucial in a way where you have to think it from not only from a intelligent UI or the automation perspective, you have to think it from the existing customers and users as well, and that's where the balancing act kind of lies. And that's, I think, companies like Gemini, ChatGPT, Cisco, they're doing it pretty well, and Calsoft is helping them in that, where we are working with them on intelligent UIs, which not only work for their existing storage devices, servers, right? It also works for their cloud monitoring tools, and that's where I think Calsoft is, kind of forging towards within the company itself, I would say.
So what about security, privacy, and compliance?
Yeah, I think it's one of the main aspects, right, when we are building any of the intelligent UIs, right? To tell you one case would be, making sure that we are following HIPAA guidelines, right? That is one of the things. And then whenever we are working with our customers like Cisco's, your VMwares, right? We're making sure these security policies are well embedded into intelligent UI and it doesn't go out of bounds whatever these customers already have in place, and then it can actually leverage more out of it and then provide the right context for the customers that are already using their application.
Perfectly said, Rushikesh. As you already know, I do have some questions from our audience. So if you're ready, I can start with the first question.
Sure.
Okay. So the first question is, can intelligent UI adapt dynamically to user behavior in real time?
Yeah, of course. As I said in my previous one of the examples, right? As a technical admin, let's say for cloud or network admin, right? Let's say bandwidth is something which is very crucial for you, right? And you want to monitor all those bandwidth for all those 1,000 servers, right? So instead of going through each of them, the intelligent UI can dynamically create a dashboard for you showcasing all those things at the first glance whenever you enter the application. So yeah, that is one of the main aspects of dynamic UIs, I would say.
Interesting. Next question. What are the most common integration challenges?
I think one of the most common integration challenges is of legacy applications, and how you can embed it with the existing infrastructure, because it's quite old, right? And that's where I think the orchestration layer as well as the AI ML layer, right, that kind of works in our favor, and then you have to use microservices to make it work. And we have had many instances where Calsoft has worked on it, and it has produced magnificent results for us.
Last question. How do you prevent AI from making decisions that confuse user?
Yeah, I think it's a great question, right? But one of the aspects of this question that you need to understand is it's one thing of giving guidance to the user, right, and making sure that it's very easy for them to complete the objective that they're trying to do. But it's also important to have the right messaging as well as giving the trust to the user that you are in control. So let's say if they click something or if they operate on something which they didn't intend to, right, you need to have the proper message as well as option for those users to undo it, right? And that's where the trust factor comes in, I would say.
Thank you, Rushikesh. Thank you for joining us again today. Thank you for watching this podcast till the very end. We covered our second part, which was building block of intelligent UI. In our next episode, which is the final episode, we'll be talking about the future of user interfaces. So stay tuned to learn more about intelligent UI and start implementing it.